Tony Khan's announcement tonight has been spoiled, and we're going to talk about it right here on the Ango Show. Yes. Welcome back to TAS. Don't forget, we got that giveaway at 100,000 subscribers, but now I want to kick things off with some WWE news. There has been a lot of talk about Vince McMahon as of late due to the severe allegations that have been placed on him and the company, and obviously people have not forgotten about this because you shouldn't forget about this. Despite a lot of craziness happening in the pro wrestling industry, there was something that was very interesting that came out today by the Hollywood Reporter. They had reported today that TKO CEO Ari Emanuel and TKO president and COO Mark Shapiro had called Vince McMahon to tell him it would be in the company's best interest for him to resign in the wake of the allegations. Vince McMahon agreed to do so, but he continues to deny the allegations that are against him, and McMahon does currently remain under federal investigation in addition to this lawsuit. Now, obviously, this is interesting for a lot of reasons because a lot of people pointed to the clause that Vince McMahon had when he initially sold the company, which was that he didn't have to leave the company. He was in his position until he was incapacitated or not able to do so. So Vince McMahon still stepped down, and he still continues to deny the allegations. And obviously, this federal lawsuit will get to the bottom of it. In regards to the whole allegations and everything that's been said about Vince and the company and stuff like that, it's not going away. That's the big thing that everybody needs to remember here. No matter what's happening on television, no matter how fast the wrestling industry moves, this is not going away. Obviously, for TKO, not having Vince McMahon there was a step in the right direction for them. But they're going to continue dealing with this until the conclusion, right? And when that happens, we'll see what happens. Obviously, we'll see what goes down and what transpires. Now, I do find it to be very crazy that in 2024 we could be going into potentially a whole era where someone part of the Vince McMahon family is not involved in the company. And that obviously introduces some interesting questions surrounding Paul Levesque, because he's not listed in those allegations, but he is obviously the son-in-law of Vince McMahon. So how does this impact him? If it does in any case, we're going to have to wait and see. But TKO obviously knew they didn't want Vince McMahon on the board. And, here's the thing, man. Vince McMahon still has the stock. So no matter what, he's greatly benefiting from WWE. We'll have to wait and see what happens with the federal investigation. And obviously, I'll keep you guys updated. Alrighty, guys. Now it's time to talk about Camille Brick. I wanted to think a little bit more deeply about this topic. Less than 24 hours ago, it was reported that Camille Brick is no longer expected to be WWE bound. In fact, it looks like she's expected to be in AEW. This is where it gets really interesting. So keep in mind, at first, PW Insider has reported that she was expected to be in WWE. Now that they've reported she is no longer expected to be in WWE, one source in WWE stated in the past that she had been offered an NXT deal. However, per reports, discussions are not moving forward. Instead, she has been in deep discussions with AEW, where it has been seen as a stronger destination for her. One of the big things, too, is that Camille wants to get into acting, and by working with AEW, that would be okay. I don't know what WWE is offering free agents. I don't know. I mean, look, we're still waiting to see how everything goes down with all of these free agents. But it doesn't look like WWE is that eager to sign people. And, I always say, look, WWE's got the brand recognition. They are the biggest company. But this is why it's good to have AEW around. This is why it's good to have multiple companies around. Some people have a dream of being in the WWE. Some people don't, And the thing is, if you could go to another company that does give you less dates, allows you to go and work Hollywood if you want, allows you to work indies and do all of these different things. Like, that's pretty advantageous for you, especially if they're offering a lot of money. So I don't know what WWE's recruiting tactic is right now. I don't know what they're trying to do when they're approaching free agents. I don't know if they're just saying, hey, look at us. We're the WWE, right? We're the number one company for a reason. That's it. Now, with that being said, I think for Camille, it would have actually been beneficial going to NXT. I don't think there would have been anything wrong going to NXT. But for her to go to AEW, I would hope that they're going to insert her into a relatively, good spot on the women's roster. They're beefing up their women's roster. It's good. It's good for AEW. To secure Camille would be a fantastic thing for the company. But at the same time, is it going to be AEW being consistent with their booking, or is it just AEW bringing people into the company? Obviously, we can't talk in detail about what it's going to be because we're still waiting to see how it all pans out. But this actually leads to our next topic, which is the big AEW announcement spoiler. I said spoiler, but guys, the TD Garden had already spoiled it. TD Garden had posted on Facebook a new event that they're hosting, AEW Dynamite Rampage, March 13th at 7:30 p.m. And this is happening literally on the same day as Tony Khan's major announcement. Now, obviously, if you put two and two together, Tony Khan more than likely going to have a very special episode for Mercedes Moné. Yeah. They're going to have a big episode for her. They're probably going to do like a CM Punk type of thing, right? Where you brand the episode after her. This is without them actually saying she's going to be there, but it's a way to tease it and drum up interest, which I think is the right idea. I don't know what they call it. Maybe something with the word bank in it. Maybe something with the word money in it. I could see something of that sort being introduced, special branding the episode. But the TD Garden leaked this on Facebook by accident. I'm assuming it's by accident. But this is what was rumored to be Tony Khan's announcement. Tony Khan is expected to announce the TD Garden with some sort of slogan or something like that for Mercedes' debut. And then obviously that kind of lets the world know that Mercedes is coming to AEW without officially saying it. I've said this so many times, guys, I feel like it's redundant, but if you're new here, I'm not really partial to WWE or AEW in regards to signings. I think for Mercedes going to WWE, there's a lot of immediate storylines that are currently happening on TV where she fits into them, right? With AEW, there's not. So I'm interested to see how they book Mercedes upon arrival. There's a lot of people that are going to be taking backseat to Mercedes, but if AEW plays this correctly, which I think they will, Mercedes having matches with the other women on weekly television, don't treat her like a special attraction. You got to have her on TV every week. Kind of like Adam Copeland is doing with this young talent on Collision. I feel like they should kind of do the same thing with Mercedes. Let other people get experience by working with her, give them the rub. And then I think it's inevitable. Mercedes has to be women's champion. So I fully expect Deonna Purrazzo to lose to Toni Storm. And then that way they could build Mercedes and Toni Storm for the championship at some point. But nonetheless, I think this is a good thing. I think it is a good thing. I think there's more storylines for her in WWE based on, the damage control storyline and where it makes sense. But Mercedes going to AEW, I can't really see a negative with that. She's going to get paid. She's going to be able to do what she wants. And at the end of the day, it really does come down to money.